Satoru is a complex individual. He is normally seen to be nonchalant and playful towards his students, close colleagues, and friends. However, he is unsympathetic and cruel towards sorcerer executives, an example being his blatant disrespect towards Principal Gakuganji and his enemies. Satoru is extremely confident in his abilities and reputation as a powerful sorcerer, believing himself to be invincible. His opinion of others often only go as far as his judgment of their strength, and he is quite apathetic towards anyone he deems weak. Additionally, greatly influenced by his own desire for power, he is very arrogant. He is convinced that he is the strongest in the world, which he technically is, claiming, during his fight with Toji Fushiguro, that, throughout the heavens and earth, he alone is the honored one. This can be further exemplified when he was tasked with protecting Riko Amanai, one of the few, weak, people he genuinely grew to show compassion for. However, any empathy of her death was soon negated by his extensive amount of pride and arrogance after perfecting his reverse curse technique in his following battle against Toji Fushiguro. During intense battles, Satoru is seen to occasionally fall into a frenzied fighting state, urged by his determination for victory and undeniable proof that he alone is the strongest. His combative style is characterized by his aggressive and domineering attacks, while flaunting his mastered techniques to his opponents. Furthermore, in a crisis, he is capable of being cold-blooded. He will prioritize his enemy's destruction over saving innocent people when he believes that the sacrifice is unavoidable. However, this only extends to the people killed by his opponent. He will not do any lasting harm to or kill anyone innocent to gain the upper hand. Nevertheless, despite his haughtiness and strength, Satoru is more human than he first appears. After defeating Toji, Satoru retrieved Riko's corpse with a sorrowful look, showing that albeit his recent conceded victory temporarily clouding his feelings, he still felt some grief over her death. He sought to kill the star religious group members that were laughing over Riko's death, though was stopped by Suguru Geto, who he relied on as a moral compass at that time, before taking any action. Furthermore, Satoru was later left visibly horrified and panicked after learning that Suguru, his one and only best friend, had become a murderous curse user. Satoru attempted to reason with his friend, but eventually realized and accepted that he lost the one person he truly saw as an equal. After having to put an end to Suguru before more calamity arose, it was Satoru's trauma over losing his best friend that caused his ultimate downfall in Shibuya. He was also distraught when Yuji seemingly died. Satoru's endgame is to reform the jujutsu world from the bottom up through education. He seeks to foster a new generation of sorcerers that he hopes will one day become his equals. Overall skill level, even among the special grade sorcerers, Satoru is known to be the strongest sorcerer in the series, holding both immense amounts of cursed energy and a dangerously powerful technique. No one can seemingly match his skill level in the current storyline, except for the King of Curses, Sukuna. As a student, Satoru and Suguru were both considered the strongest, capable of making short work of experienced and powerful curse users. After realizing and perfecting his capabilities, Satoru's abilities vastly increased to where he was able to put Toji Fushiguro into the defensive and ultimately kill him with his strongest technique, whereas before he and Geto were no match for the renowned sorcerer killer. As he continued to grow, he eclipsed Suguru's might to where Suguru admitted Satoru has truly become the strongest alone. Suguru also stated that Satoru had the capability of killing all of humanity by himself, which Suguru admitted was out of his own ability, and didn't even try to fight back when Satoru prepared to kill him, although Satoru ultimately relented as he was unable to kill his best friend. In the present, Satoru's might was feared by the higher-ups of the Jujutsu Society, to where Satoru could easily force them to cancel the executions of the likes of the dangerous fellow special-grade sorcerer Yuta Okatsu and the vessel of Sukuna Yuji Itadori, and he states that it would be easy for him to kill them all and overthrow the Jujutsu Society had he actually wanted to. Satoru even claimed that he could defeat Sukuna at his full power. Kenjaku and his group of special-grade cursed spirits were also wary of Satoru's power and skill, with Kenjaku admitting he couldn't defeat Gojo in direct battle. He was capable of entirely overpowering and killing Jogo, who was the strongest of the group, and simply his presence was able to force Hanami to retreat, with Gojo almost killing the special-grade cursed spirit with a single attack. When Kenjaku and his group finally developed a plan to face him in combat, despite their preparations, Satoru was still capable of easily fending off their assaults and overpowering them, leaving them astounded with how exceeding his capabilities truly were, killing Hanami and only being defeated due to Kenjaku using his past with Geto to distract him long enough for the prison realm to seal him. Master hand-to-hand combatant, Satoru, in addition to his overwhelming levels of cursed energy, is also an extremely formidable martial artist in close combat, with extraordinary physical prowess to back up his skills. Q&A with Gij Akatami revealed that Satoru is as skilled as the millennia-old Kenjaku in terms of pure hand-to-hand combat without any cursed energy. He was capable of completely overpowering Jogo in hand-to-hand combat, delivering several precise attacks on Jogo's fatal spots, and could even casually fight off and overpower both Jogo and Hanami with sheer close combat, easily countering their attacks and landing powerful hits that swiftly pummeled them into submission. In his duel with Sukuna, Satoru proved to be superior in terms of hand-to-hand combat against the immensely powerful King of Curses, who had previously demonstrated impeccable martial arts skills by simultaneously keeping both Yuji and Maki at bay, consistently being able to overwhelm Sukuna in their later exchanges while clashing their domains to deliver lethal wounds that forced his malevolent shrine to crumble within 3 minutes. Immense strength. Satoru has extraordinary physical strength to fight against powerful curses without a problem, easily causing severe injuries to Jogo with powerful punches and throwing him a considerable distance with a single kick during their fight. He was also able to easily rip out Jogo's head and later on his arm with sheer physical force, and even managed to casually rip out Hanami's roots. He could casually rip apart transfigured humans, tearing them apart limb by limb. He easily incapacitated the likes of Uram with a single punch, which injured them to where even the use of reverse curse technique was unable to truly heal them, leaving the powerful subordinate of Sukuna still suffering a degree of pain from the lasting wound. During his fight with Sukuna, a clash between the two of them destroyed entire buildings, and Satoru proved strong enough to deal critical injuries on the King of Curses using martial arts alone, a feat that not even the strength of Yuji and Maki could achieve. With just a single burst of black flash, Satoru was able to damage Sukuna to the point where he temporarily knocked him unconscious by punching him in the heart. 2 punches from Satoru proved sufficient to temporarily stun Maharaga. Immense speed and reflexes. Satoru is an extremely fast fighter, capable of moving faster than the eye could perceive. He managed to easily outpace Jogo, throwing almost imperceptible punches and kicks. Satoru was even able to successfully react to and dodge the attacks of someone of Toji Fushigiro's level. Satoru can also eliminate 1,000 transfigured humans in 5 minutes. He was able to move faster than Uram. A powerful and experienced sorcerer was able to react and would have killed Kenjaku quickly if Sukuna hadn't intervened. During Satoru's duel with Sukuna, he proved to be faster than the King of Curses, able to continuously outpace Sukuna in their hand-to-hand combat exchanges, repeatedly pushing him into the defense with his speed and catching him off guard at certain occasions. Satoru even kept up with Sukuna, Maharaga and Chimera Beast Agito simultaneously. Immense endurance. Despite rarely being put in dangerous situations, Satoru has proven himself to be overwhelmingly resilient when needed to be. When Toji Fushiguro stabbed him through the chest when he had just deactivated his infinity, Satoru showed little pain, and with cursed energy reinforcement, he was able to avoid any further damage. Even after being impaled on the throat and then savagely slashed through his body, not only did Satoru survive, but he was able to instead use the life and death experience to understand the nature of reverse cursed technique and become even more powerful than he ever was. Years later, when Sukuna's malevolent shrine overpowered his unlimited void, Satoru withstood countless slash attacks from Sukuna while using reverse cursed technique at full burst to heal himself instantaneously without showing any signs of pain and being affected by the blood loss and injuries, and was able to keep fighting Sukuna with great efficiency, eventually buying enough time to recover his curse technique. Great tactical intellect. Satoru is quite tactical and capable of figuring out his opponent's plan with minimum information. He has also shown to be extremely adaptable to any enemy he has ever faced so far, knowing precisely what to do to counter their techniques and find ways to defeat them. This is best displayed during his bout against Jogo, Hanami, Choso and Mahito, where he was shown to be capable of conceiving multiple battle strategies while fighting at blinding speeds, protecting civilians, keeping property damage to a minimum, all while dodging and evading the attacks of the 4 curses. While fighting Sukuna, faced with the malevolent shrine's relentless attacks without his curse technique, Satoru proved able to calmly develop an effective plan to not only survive, but also counterattack, by out-healing its sure-hit attack with reverse curse technique and using simple domain to give him an opening to recover his curse technique. He also demonstrated the great genius to change the conditions of his domain to a degree that left Itsuya Kusakabe, an expert on barrier techniques, astonished. According to Jujutsu Kaisen official fanbook. Enrollment method, family lineage. He doesn't have any hobbies, he can do almost anything. Favorite food, sweet things. Least favorite food, alcohol. Cause of stress, higher-ups involvement. Gojo's rankings in the popularity polls are as follows. Gojo ranked third in the first popularity poll with 16,923 votes. Gojo ranked second in the second popularity poll with 14,359 votes. Gojo ranked third in the third popularity poll with 11,591 votes. According to Gojo's profile in Volume 1's extras, he is probably over 190 centimeters tall, 6 feet 3 inches. His face was regularly shown in the Jump Giga prequel, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, Jujutsu High, all 4 chapters. Principal Yaga was his teacher when he was a student. He started eating sweets to stimulate his brain but ended up with a sweet tooth. He can do anything he tries, so he tries not to get too involved with anything. According to him, this is all for the sake of the next generation. He was a fan of Digimon in high school. Both his Japanese and English voice actors have voiced Digimon characters. Kaiji Tang even mentioned Gojo liking Digimon on Twitter. The name Satoru is a masculine Japanese given name derived from the Japanese verb meaning to know or understand. Satoru can be written using different kanji characters, which mean be spiritually awakened or attain higher perception. Other name meanings include but are not limited to enlightenment, wisdom, and philosophy. As credited by Gija Katami, his theme music is Mata Minu Asuni by Asian Kung Fu Generation and Shame on Me by Avicii. And that's it for today's video. Subscribe, like and share the video. See you next time, Nakama.